Okay, let's bring Lenny Marshall on, everybody. Lenny Marshall, what he did on Sunday is so noteworthy. We really wanted to bring him on. There's Lenny right now. Now, he drives a modified Corvette that looks like something out of Mad Max. And you guys, you go out there in your modified cars for drives, what, like every weekend, Lenny? Something like that?
Yeah, usually every Sunday we go out there.
Oh, every Sunday.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a pretty drive, isn't it? But quite dangerous.
It is, but it draws a lot of people from all over the valley, actually all over the country, to come out and check out that road. But yeah, it is dangerous if you get complacent.
Take us out on Sunday morning. You're out there driving on the windy roads of the SR88, and somebody flags you down, and all of a sudden you realize there's a really bad situation.
Yeah, we were out there, and the funny thing was, about 10 minutes before the incident happened, I was talking with a friend of mine, Nico, and let him know that, these accidents do happen. I've been first on scene for a couple of them. And 10 minutes later, we were in the mix. He went down there with me also, and it was just a pretty bad scene. It took us a while to get down there. You couldn't really see the wreck from the road, but when we got there, we just saw one gentleman who was outside of the car bleeding profusely. Immediately took my hoodie off, stopped the bleeding the best that I could, and tried to get the young lady out of the car. It was just really a bad scene.
Oh, wow.
Were both of them passed out? Were you able to communicate with either of them? Were they even aware of what was going on?
They were aware that they had been in an accident. They just didn't know how bad it really was. We were able to speak to both of them. The young lady just wanted to get out of the car. Unfortunately, the passenger side was so crushed we couldn't get her out that way. So we went to the driver's side. We were able to open that door, and I had to rip out the center console to get to her. She was tangled up in the seatbelt. My biggest fear was a fire, obviously. But when we got her out, thankfully the helicopter arrived probably within 15 minutes of getting them out of the vehicle.
You know, Lenny, we're showing some drone footage of that part of how they call it Hell's Gate, right? It's a pretty scary drive, if you like you said, if you're not watching yourself. For folks who are not familiar, because here on YouTube we have people from all over the world who are watching. What does that road look like, and why is it called Hell's Gate?
Well, there's a gate in that area, but that turn is actually probably the most notorious for accidents and dangerous turn. There's no guardrail there. If you aren't paying attention, it's such a... Yeah, you could go off just like they did. And, it was unfortunate for them because it is 377 feet to the bottom.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know if you had any medical training or outdoors, experience where you maybe have done some extreme hiking, etc. But what was that whole process like for you actually getting down there to the vehicle?
I would say it probably took us about 15 minutes to get down there. I mean, we could have been badly injured had we slipped and fell. There's no trail that leads you down there. It's kind of like scrambling, and we just had to make our way the best we could. You can't see the car from the road because it had went down into, the canyon. So we just had to navigate kind of blindly to get down there.
Right. Okay. Well, when it was all over, said and done, by the way, let me just update everybody. Madeline is in an induced coma.
Oh, wow.
With a broken neck and a brain bleed. But she's alive thanks to you. And were there a couple of other guys that came down with you as well from your group?
Yes. Nico came down with me originally. He's another car enthusiast. He's the one I was having the conversation with about the wrecks out there.
Right.
And shortly thereafter, his friend Patrick came down, and he offered, comfort and to Maddie, and keeping her awake. We obviously didn't want her to go to sleep because she tried, laying down and,
of course,
due to the trauma.
So did that crash, do you know, did it happen that morning, or had they been there late to the night?
It happened, and people, some bystanders had seen it happen.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see it happen, but, if someone had not seen that happen, they probably would not have been found, unfortunately, because you can't see it from the road.
And Lenny, there's a commenter in our chat, Darla. She said, I can't believe they lived. Holy crap, it is smashed into nothing. When you saw the wreckage from the vehicle, were you also surprised that she was able, to be found alive?
Yeah, I was. On the way down there, we got a visual of the car. It looked just like you see in the pictures. And I was just praying that, they were going to be okay. And, thankfully they were both alive and could speak to us. And, we just did what we could do. And thankfully the first responder showed up to do the real work and get them up out of there, with a helicopter, because you couldn't get them out of there any other way.
Yeah.
By the way, so Andrew was driving. They are friends, Maddie and Andrew. Andrew in the hospital with more than 20 staples in his head.
Yeah. Wow.
So, that's how serious the situation is. And, they're both of their moms, we talked to them.
Yeah.
And they say that you and your friends are absolute heroes.
Yeah,
So,
Lenny, thank you. Thank you,
for that.
Lenny.
I appreciate the praise, but like I said, the first responders get all of that, and obviously God.
All right. Have
Yeah,
a great
for
day,
sure.
Lenny. Thank you so much.
And one other thing, before we go to break,
Bless
there
you,
are
Vicky.
GoFundMe's
Yeah.
for them that are set up. And if you go to our website, fox10phoenix.com, you can find all the information on the GoFundMe that has now been set up as a result of this really unbelievable story. There are a lot of crashes that happen right there.
Oh my goodness, they were like I think they set up since the 1950s. There's
Yeah.
still cars just laying down there in the ravine.
More to come after this.